Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Cryptid Cast. Today we have quite an interesting story, once again pulled off Reddit. It's in the description, the link to the post. But it goes, something is in the woods near Cherokee. And I'm joined by my friend Talon, of course.
Yo, yo, yo.
Okay, let's start. My husband, 23 male, and I, 22 female, have been on our wedding anniversary for over a week now. We have a camper in Cherokee, NC, that we have been staying in. We have an interest in abandoned things like towns and cemeteries. We decided that we would go visit Connor Cemetery near Couches Creek off of Newfound Gap Road, which is about 1.9 from the Okanalufty Visitor Center. When we arrive to a pool of clothes to where the trailhead is supposed to be, we get out and start walking towards the opening in the woods where there is a trail. The trail itself is visible, but you would have to be looking for it. We are walking and heading towards where the cemetery is supposed to be. I'm in the front, looking down, checking for snakes and holes, and my husband is behind me. We have paused for a second, and he said, "Babe, look at that statue." I start looking around and say, "Where?" and he points to the direction. What I was expecting was like an angel statue that you normally see in cemeteries. That is not what it was. I looked upwards further up the trail, and off to the side is what looks to be a 12 to 15 foot tall deer/elk statue. Now, I ain't no American, but I know that's not meant to be in a cemetery.
Definitely not. That name of the place sounds like a made-up word. What was it? Lufty, or what was it?
Dude, I couldn't pronounce that to save my life.
No one could, bro. I'm telling you, weird
Anyway,
name.
yeah, crazy name. Yeah, I butchered that name, but we ball.
Anyone would have, bro.
Anyway, it's an interesting hobby to go to cemeteries at night. That sounds like a recipe for disaster, but that's just me.
Always.
Anyway, let's carry on. The statue looks like it was either made up of wood or wrapped in leather hide and looked preserved. The problem is that nowhere online had it mentioned the statue or anything of the sorts. It starts giving me this uneasy feeling because it had a strange face and it was just a weird place for something like that to be there. My husband then said he did not like it at all and that we should go. As soon as he said that, we turned around and left as fast as possible. Once we got back to our car, I told him that I did not feel right at all. He agreed with me and said that he saw a deer-like face with no snout, and he thinks that it had blinked and its right ear had moved, but not like a normal animal ear, but a full 360 rotation. So they say it's a statue, right? But they say it's like wrapped in leather hide or preserved. What? When I think of statue, I think stone.
Yeah, like you'd find in your yard, or like
Yeah,
a rich yard or something like that.
yeah.
Wrapped in leather almost sounds like mummified in a way.
Yeah, it sounds like
That's very weird.
what do you call it when you like preserve an animal? It's whatever that is. It
I
sounds
know,
like
I
that.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that is
I can't think
strange.
of it when.
It's like it's weird, man.
Like
And
taxidermy, I think
especially
it is
yeah,
taxidermy.
taxidermy, and to have it
Yeah.
outside as well. I mean, it would not withstand the elements. So they doubled down in the original post, saying that it was not a real animal and it was a statue, but I don't know how much I believe them, especially since they say it blinked and its ear rotated. I mean, that doesn't sound like a statue to me unless it's a possessed
60
statue.
degree rotation as well is super weird.
Yeah, that's like shit you would do in Blender by accident.
Yep, exactly, bro.
Okay, let's carry on. I
Uh,
told him that what I saw was like an elk body with a camel mixed with an elk-like face. On the way back to our camper, I started thinking that I should have taken a picture of it, but unfortunately I did not think to at the time. Once we were back at the camper, we started researching things and could not find where this was ever listed or even seen before. We decided to go back to a local Native American bookstore that we had gone to previously and spoke to the older lady who runs it. We had explained what had happened, and she advised us to speak to the visitor center in the national park to see if anyone had something similar or if they knew of any native stories of something similar. She had also said that sometimes the things choose for you to be the only ones to see it. We had thanked the lady and left back to our camper. Now I am here typing this out and thinking what we have possibly seen out there in the middle of the woods. If you have any info on what this could be, please let me know. We will be going to the visitor center tomorrow and most likely we'll be going back into the woods to see if it's still there or not.
Nah, they're going back.
Well, what's interesting is this was posted 2 months ago and there's been no updates.
Okay.
I'll check
Yeah, see if there's like comments or anything
I'm
like that
checking the
underneath it or
comments.
anything.
Oh, update. There we go. Update. Against our better judgment and the advice of other people, we decided to go to the trailhead ourselves first and see if maybe we could see it from the road. We could not, and I still had a dread feeling about being around that area. We then decided to head to the visitor center to see if they knew of a statue of any stories of the area with something similar. We went up to one of the associates or service people at the visitor center. I had asked the lady if she knew the trail to Connor Cemetery, and she did. Then asked if they had a statue up there off the trail. She said no, we are the first to ever ask about anything like that. Proceeded to explain that whatever it was, if it was an animal or a statue, was very creepy and not moving at all, how big it was. When we had said how tall it was, one of the other associates came over and started asking what was going on, and he seemed skeptical and just ended walking away. The lady said that she would head up there after a shift to take a look, and if they had any free rangers, she would have one come up to look at it. We thanked her and let her know that we would be heading back up and would be back to let her know what we saw. After the visitor center, we decided to head back up the trail. We were both very nervous, and as soon as we started towards the trail, I got an impending doom sensation. I powered through it and started hiking up the trail with my phone out to take pictures of anything. We were walking further up, and we were looking directly up the path. Once we were getting closer to the curve of the trail where the thing was at. I was in the front and my husband behind me, and he asked me, "Do you see it?" I see the spot where it was yesterday and it's gone. Nothing there, and as soon as I tell him it's not there, I turn around and we book it out of the woods. We run back to the car and get in and drive back to the visitor center. We talk to the same woman and I give her an update and tell her we did not see it and that it was completely gone. She had said that it could have possibly been a very large bull elk. My husband and I do not believe that at all, but did not say anything about it. We say our goodbyes, and when we are turning to leave, she said at least it's nothing creepy following you. That's... whoa.
That's an interesting
That's a
way
crazy
to end it.
thing to say. That's
you don't
crazy.
know-
I think they know more than
you
they're
don't
letting on.
Yeah, or you don't think they maybe have some sort of like part to play in it or
Maybe.
something, or they know maybe something about it, because to end it like that,
Yeah, that's weird, man.
very weird. Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
I said hopefully not, but I
Um,
thought it was very weird to say, especially since we did not say anything about it being something else like paranormal. Once we were back on the road, I told my husband about the impending doom feeling. He said, what if it was still out there watching us, just not in the place we were looking at? We both had said that we were looking directly upwards at the trail to see if it was in the same spot and never looked around to see if it had moved somewhere around the vicinity. We went back to the Native American bookstore and also have an update to the owner. She found it very interesting and she does believe there's something out there in the woods. I did take some pictures of the trail and where the thing was yesterday if anyone is interested. Okay, So that's weird, man. That's a weird thing for the park range or the rec center worker to say.
doesn't actually
That
make
is following
sense.
them.
Yeah,
Have you
why?
ever heard of the knot deer? Because that's what a lot of people are saying
No.
it is, and to me that's what it sounds like. So basically, a knot deer, from my understanding, it's like a deer, but its proportions are all wrong. It's aggressive. It's supernatural. It's got like predator teeth. Its eyes face forward instead of to the side like a predator. Not something you want to run into.
Yeah,
Now,
especially on a camping trip or something like that.
yeah. Now, she said she tripled down that it was a statue, but I don't know how much I believe that it's a statue, right? Well,
It
obviously it
doesn't make
moved, so
sense.
it can't be a statue. I don't know why they
Yeah.
keep doubling down on that, but I think it's a not deer.
Look, I think maybe, and this is a big maybe, what if it was a statue? Maybe, because they did say they were like obviously around, it was on a trail. Maybe there were trees, the leaves could be falling. It could have been maybe mistaken for something, but it doesn't really make sense, especially considering then that they went back and it was gone. Statues
Yeah.
like don't move
Also,
like that. I think it was alive.
taxidermied stuff, that doesn't. You don't put that outside.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
put that in a cemetery.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Actually, that's a very
But
interesting story.
I
But
like what the rec. I think that they're not the first people to encounter this thing, and I think the rec center. That's why they said, "Oh, at least it's not following you." I think other people have seen it and has followed them.
now, why do you think that they maybe haven't come out about it or like said anything about it if
Well,
it scared them so much?
in my experience with these things, it's best not to talk about things. So they may have withheld info just so that they don't do anything stupid, Because it's like
Right.
the more you talk about it and the more you try and interact with it, the more likely something is to go wrong.
And maybe if they gave them more information, it would have like enticed them to maybe go back out and
Yeah.
find like the
Although
true
they
meaning, and it
didn't-
could have gone even worse.
It's weird that they didn't try and stop them from going back.
Yo, that's also weird. Maybe these guys are ops. Maybe they just maybe they just wanted them to
Maybe
die.
they needed a blood sacrifice to the not deer, and they thought, oh, these people are stupid.
to bring it back to life.
I don't think it's dead. I think it was alive.
That's what makes sense though. But I mean, oh, who knows at this point? I mean, there's no way it was a statue. Did they say like anything about color or anything like that?
They
It just wrapped together.
Just wrapped in leather, so to me that sounds like it's not a statue. I don't believe that. And if it is, it's some
Yeah.
sort of cult statue. But also their feeling of impending doom when going
That's
back.
not normal.
I think it
Yeah.
was still in the area. I think it was watching them. And
Probably behind a tree or something. It was just lingering.
yeah. And how the lady at the bookstore said that, sometimes they make themselves seen by only you, and they only want you to see them. I think it was messing with them. I think it wanted to kill them, and it was just toying with them.
Then why
Try-
do you think it didn't kill them? Because it was only them as well.
That's a good question.
It doesn't make sense. There's a lot of like holes in a way.
Yeah. But
That's an interesting one.
maybe it didn't kill them because they didn't upset it. I mean, it's a spirit of some sort, maybe. So maybe they just didn't piss it off enough to want to kill them. To be fair, though,
Maybe.
like maybe it didn't attack them, and the feeling of impending doom makes me feel like it doesn't want them there. So maybe it just took a passive approach and tried to just make sure they don't come back. Because I've seen a lot of stories of spirits and creatures of the woods where they don't necessarily want to kill you, they just don't want you on their land.
Okay, I've got a hypothesis here, or a theory. What if it was protecting something?
Could be a guardian of the forest, could have been protecting the forest.
If so, protecting what?
It could have been protecting the forest, but if it's a not deer, they're malicious. They're not good. I don't know if they're protectors of the forest. Let me do a quick Google search.
Is it just, it it's one thing to just kill things in the woods, right, as a not deer, but it doesn't make sense that, it was like maybe, like for me personally, I think it would have just gone in for the kill if it was just them. And maybe it was worried of exposing something. That to me
Maybe.
is what makes the most sense.
Could be. Could be. I don't know. But it's
Who
also
knows?
weird. If it was a not deer, you would have think it would move more. I mean, they did say they thought they saw it move.
That's why I actually think that it was rather protecting or hiding something, because
Mm,
maybe it was staying still as a protector, and then maybe they got too close, and that's when it like moved a little bit to almost get ready to pounce if it needed to, and it didn't end up
yeah,
needing to do that.
maybe. But it didn't have all the markers of a not deer. I mean, generally, well, they didn't give a great like description of it, to be quite frank.
Yeah, just leather.
Yeah, I mean, like they said he saw a deer-like face with no snout. Generally, not deers have a snout, but like, then could it be some? Maybe it's a cult thing or ritual.
It could be, but maybe it could have been something like, in I mean, look, not really, but the game Ironbark, look up,
Yeah,
or it's something like that, and then there's the specific one where they're in the woods. Maybe it
yeah,
was
yeah,
something
yeah.
cult related like that.
Could have been cult shit. Um,
Yeah, yeah, and they had
and
leather on
and the
as like
movement
a
could have been a trick of the light, or
could be.
could be demon possessed or spirit
Who
possessed.
knows?
Who knows? Anyway, very interesting story. Leave your guys' thoughts in the comments, and yeah, have a good one.